have a championship mindset at the University of South Carolina. Make no mistake about it.
If you want to buy stock, you want to buy one that's hot sometimes and then cold as a dead fish.
Popcorn. That's all I can say.
Tired of the disrespect, tired of, all the negative stuff.
We're pretty steady. So we're second winningest team in the country, 13 years. We're pretty steady.
There's no ceiling at the University of South Carolina. Our expectations of South Carolina are to compete for a spot in that 12-team playoff.
Gamecock, Tiger, whichever side you're on, get excited. College football is back. Better yet, get excited for another season of Gamecock Saturday Night. We are so back. Every Saturday night after the primetime game on our air, we'll be right here to greet you and say, hey, come on in. Get comfortable. We got a great show for you. We're almost there. Next Saturday, QB1 Lenora Sellers will lead USC in its opener. Shane Bieber will enter Williams-Brice Stadium for Gamecock Walk, entering a huge start to year 4 in his coaching tenure at South Carolina. Carolina's man in charge providing some perspective on the many lessons learned through coaching 38 games as Gamecock football's CEO.
I've learned every year. After 21, when we won 7 games and quote-unquote exceeded expectations, I learned that season. And then in 22, when we had the great finish that we had, beating Tennessee and Clemson and winning 8 games, I learned from that season. And then last year, record-wise, not being what we wanted, I've learned from that. And then I've learned since January until now. And certainly confident. I don't think you're ever comfortable. I don't want to be as well. You got to be uncomfortable in order to grow. I don't ever want to get comfortable, but I will say this, I'm extremely confident, and this being year 4, I've never, ever, ever been more excited.
South Carolina gets its season underway at home next Saturday, hosting Old Dominion at 4:15 p.m. Shea Beamer in South Carolina will have a handful and then some of opportunities to make a statement. No cakewalk for the Gamecocks this season, as they are set to play 7 of the top 20 preseason ranked teams in the country. All 5 of these opponents on your screen, plus number 11 Missouri, and a season finale rival game up in Tigertown versus number 14 Clemson. USC's October stretch, best way to describe it, no joke. Ole Miss at home, followed by back-to-back road games at Alabama and Oklahoma. All right, with tears in his eyes, back on December 1st of 2008, Dabo Swinney told everybody, dream very big. Coach Swinney has done that and then some as he enters his 16th full season as Clemson football's head coach. He's approaching 2 decades as Tigers leader, but I'm sure a big-time season opener never gets old. Next Saturday, number 14 Clemson will take on number 1 Georgia. Dabo describes what's at stake when his Tigers go up against who he calls the standard of college football in recent years.
This is just a situation where you got to be playoff ready. Game 1, play 1, So it is what it is, but it's exciting, It's a great opportunity for both teams. This is big time football right out of the gate with two really, really good programs, and again, a team that I think has in totality been clearly the best football program in the country the last 3 years.
This time next week, we will have a winner in that top 15 massive season opener. The number 1 Dogs and number 14 Tigers match up in Atlanta next Saturday at noon. And here's a look at the Tigers' ranked opponents this fall. Game 1 out of the gates. What a win that would be for Tiger Nation, right? One game that's probably circled on your calendar is that Week 5 battle in Tallahassee versus FSU. That contest will be a reunion with former Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. Funny enough, we'll get a look at DJU, the former Clemson signal caller. Coming up next, we head across the pond for Florida State and Georgia Tech. They opened the season in Dublin, Ireland. We're just getting started. Those highlights and much more coming your way. Also on the way, Shane Beamer shares why USC is primed to make a bowl game this season. You're watching Gamecock Saturday Night on ABC Columbia. We'll be right back after this. Man, we can all finally exhale. The long wait finally ended at noon today The ACC set the stage for the college football season overseas. It was Florida State going head-to-head with Georgia Tech more than 3,600 miles away, the first major college football of the season. In Dublin, Ireland, the number 10 ranked Seminoles and the Yellow Jackets shake hands pre-game. The battle started with Florida State fireworks on the ground. It's Lawrence Tafili breaking free for the 28-yard touchdown. Oh, number 9, he's on a mission. 7 plays, 75 yards. FSU up early 8 after a successful 2-point conversion. Later in the first, backup QB Zach Perron takes the direct snap. He's in for 6, 7, 8. FSU still ahead, though. Let's pick it up in the fourth when the drama, let's just say it amplified it. Both programs trading scores. It's Jamal Hayes, 2 rushing TDs, 75 yards. FSU clapping back, though, 6:36 to go in the fourth. Roydell Williams easily finding the end zone. We're tied at 21, 12 plays and 49 yards. It's Georgia Tech. They're in position. Aiden Burr set up for a game-winning 44-yard field goal on 4th and 6. Burr, he's going to walk it off in Ireland. Yellow Jackets win 24-21 over number 10 Florida State. Georgia Tech with the first big upset of the season. They snap a 15-game losing streak versus top 10 opponents with that win on the other side of the world. All right, down in Atlanta, number 25, Florida A&M taking on Norfolk State in the MEAC SWAC Challenge just on our air. The Spartans getting off to a great start on the ground as well. Like the last game, it's Kevon King. How's this for a big play to open up the game on the opening drive? 82 yards to the house. He rushed for a lot of yards today, thanks to that one right there. Norfolk State ahead 14-0 later in the first. Daniel Richardson drops back and he finds Thon Franklin. Rattlers are rattling. They're cutting into the Spartans' lead. Into the third we go where Richardson, he's going to air it out to his wideout, Jameer Gassett. This duo was on another level today. Sprints in for the 55-yard tutty. Then we're going to go later in the third. If it ain't broke, don't dare fix it. Remember that. Richardson rolling out to his right. Who does he find? It's Gassett again. Rattlers up 24-17. Richardson, 3 passing TDs, more than 270 yards through the air. Gassett, 104 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. It was enough to fend off Norfolk State in the end. Florida A&M wins it by just 1 point, 24-23. A great opening game right here on our air. All right, week 0 of the high school football action. It spilled over into Saturday. Last night we had a great first edition of Friday Night Fever games. How about we throw in one more to wrap up week 0 action on the high school ranks in the Palmetto State. Camden at home versus White Knoll, who's coming off their best season in school history after finishing runner-up in Class 5A. Bulldogs won 11 games last year, a yard short of winning a 3A state title. First quarter, QB Wyatt Thompson, he hands it off to Tylen Drakeford. Looking for a hole, loses the ball, but he picks it back. A little scare early on. Second quarter, Drakeford in the Wildcat. He's going to step on the gas. No one will get him. Touchdown, 7-0 Bulldogs. It's cranking in their house. Timberwolves answer back, though. It's Landon Sharp trying to shake off the defender, avoid the sack somehow, some way, tosses it to the end zone. It's Javon Griffin. What a catch in the back of the end zone. We're tied at 7 into the half. In the third, Thompson to Drakeford again. He's going to dodge a tackle and runs it in. The Bulldogs now lead 14-7, but the Timberwolves would end up winning this one in the fourth quarter, 21-14. What a great week. What a great way to wrap up week 0 action. All right, time for a quick timeout. Coming up next, I go one-on-one with Gamecock football head coach Shane Beamer. We talk year 4 expectations and so much more. You don't want to miss this interview after this quick break. Stay with us. 23 was a down year that saw Carolina miss a bowl game, finishing 5-7. Over the summer, I went one-on-one with head coach Shane Beamer to talk all things Gamecock football ahead of the fast approaching season.
Seems like yesterday, some of the stuff that I was looking back at, but they say time flies when you're having fun, and I'm certainly have had an amazing time since 2021 and excited about kicking off things here in 24. speaking to Lenore, it's just the consistency that he operates with day in, day out. He's extremely talented. He's a great young man, great humility about himself, but he's a very consistent guy that the moment's never too big for him, and that's what I've seen as he just continues to lead and progress and help our team get better. Very blessed that I have a job where I'm able to include the family in it as much as I can. So I never wanted either my family or the wives and the children of our coaches and staff's families to resent what their dads do for a living. You know, this job requires a lot of hours and a lot of time away from home, and I never want my children, my wife, or the families of our coaches to resent what Dad does for a living because he is gone so long. I want them to feel a part of it also as well.
Shane Beamer and Gamecock football will be bowling this season because what?
Because of the young men that we have in this program, the hunger that they have, the fact that we've got a lot of people in this program that are still unhappy about last season and the way things finished, that know we're better than what we showed. Any noise on the outside has nothing to do with what's going on the inside as well. So for me, it's just focusing on what I can control, and that's try to be better myself as an individual and a coach each and every day, but then make the people around me in this program better each and every day.
Well, you've heard me say it 100 times by now. The Gamecocks, they kick off the season at home next Saturday versus Old Dominion. Took the time to sit down with all three head coaches to see how they are settling into their new gigs. Check it out here. All right, Coach, here we are. You're draped in the blue and yellow, Allen University across your chest. What inspired the move to come here to Allen for you?
Well, the opportunity to become a head coach of football again at a program that is on the rise was very attractive. And when I had the opportunity, I jumped.
Wow. It just brings joy to my heart. I mean, really, to be able to follow a guy like Oliver Buddy Pugh, man, what a special time, you know. I spent time in the MEAC, and South Carolina State was always one of those blue blood programs, man, and to now know that I am the new head football coach at South Carolina State just brings me joy. I'm so blessed.
You know, it's a blessing. I mean, it's just something that you dream about. As I tell my players every day, when you're a little kid, you know, so people want to be police officers, people want to be the president of the United States, people want to play in the professional league. And watching my dad, watching, you know, Bill McCartney, Joe Paterno, Jim Caldwell as I was growing up, I was like, man, that's awesome. One day I want to be a head coach, and so you work hard for it.
My wife tells me, she uses the word charisma all the time. You know, she uses that word. You know, it was just in me. You know, I was telling our young men last night in our team meeting, this is who you're gonna get every day. It's not on me, it's in me. It's just my passion.
Well, Cedric Pearl, there's a good old country boy from Selma, Alabama, man. And he's just a hard worker, really believes in people who believe in him. You know, I want to be impactful in these kids' lives and see them grow, develop, and leave here with a degree and become great young men.
My dad was a football coach, so I'm kind of like an Army brat. Consistently, though, I have a farm in Oklahoma right now. My mom's side of the family's from Oklahoma, so every summer I would go be a country boy. It didn't matter where we were. You know, I had to learn how to put horseshoes on and muck stalls and get bit by snakes and going after the eggs and everything else.
And now the future starts right now, and I have to build my own legacy, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to do so.
You got to build one day at a time. You got to keep getting better every day we go out here on the practice field, and that'll lead to getting better the next play, or if we have a bad play, forget that play and move on to the next one. But it all comes on keeping the kids focused.
The football program sold itself because of being 22-2 and what the previous staff did before. Everybody goes in and they just want to have their own flavor, and too many people want to reinvent the wheel. I just want to take the baton and continue to run my race.
Man, it's going to be fun to follow along with all three of those programs and all three of those new head coaches. They all start the season in the coming weeks. That's all the time we have here on Gamecock Saturday Night. This was just a tune-up. We're going to be back next week. South Carolina, Clemson, all the teams in South Carolina, they're going to get underway, and we're going to be right back here bringing you all your highlights plus so much more. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.